I want to thank all the coaches that recruited me through this moment. I want to thank all of them for everything that they have done for me. With that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I will be committed to Texas A&M University.
All right, looks like we're talking about Husan Longstreet right now, who made his commitment official over the weekend, picking the Texas A&M Aggies. He is the top prospect in the state of California, and I guess if we're being honest, guys, Blair has been in California this entire time, but now I'm going to officially be outnumbered. Let's welcome in national recruiting analyst Greg Biggins, who is here in the background with us. Greg, Husan Longstreet is going to be an Aggie. That was a very exciting recruitment yesterday. You watched it go down on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. How did Mike Elko and this new staff pull it off?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a relationship business, right? I've been saying that for years, recruiting wise. People talk about, X and O's and academics and, scheme fit, but it always comes down to relationships. And Husan had the best relationship with Coach Elko. They made him an immediate priority. Coach Klein also did an unbelievable job connecting. Back December, January, he was probably leaning to UCLA or Washington. Obviously, those two coaching staffs kind of disappeared on him. Coach Kelly, obviously, for UCLA. Coach DeBoer went to Bama. And that kind of opened the door for A&M. And again, priority-wise, loved it. He's been to College Station multiple times. He kind of likes the small-town feel of College Station. He likes the offensive scheme fit, loves the staff, loves the opportunity to play, depth chart-wise. Kind of checked off all the boxes for him. So A&M able to rally a little bit. Got kind of close toward the end there. In fact, he almost delayed the announcement if Auburn kind of, made a big late push, but, A&M, credit to them, great job of the staff and able to seal the deal with one of our favorite quarterbacks.
Greg, this was a player that just picked up the offer from A&M 3 months ago. Among those final 4 schools, the Aggies were the most recent offer. Obviously, they close and they get one of the best prospects at the quarterback position in this current class. You hinted at it a little bit there. It was really close down the stretch. And at the finish line, it looked like Auburn could be eking them out. How closely are you going to be monitoring Husan Longstreet moving forward, heading into this spring eval period and heading into the summer?
I will be watching it, but not because of those schools. If there's another school that could potentially creep in, there's always been a little bit of USC buzz, believe it or not. And, they got Juju Lewis already committed. But as Tom's been kind of saying multiple times, schools are still recruiting Julian actively, Georgia, Bama. If something were to happen with Julian, I could see USC going on Longstreet. And I think that might interest him just a little bit. I do think he likes A&M right now. But like you kind of mentioned it, Blair, Auburn was really the school that made a lot of noise that last week to week and a half. I was talking to some of the guys on this team, talking to some of the coaches at Centennial, and they thought Auburn was going to get him. They thought, A&M led for probably the previous 2 months. But those last 48 to 72 hours, he didn't know. Like, he literally told me he woke up on Sunday morning, and he didn't have a final decision yet. Kind of family rallied together one last time around 11 o'clock Pacific time. They decided on A&M for his 2 o'clock announcement. So got pretty close toward the end. Auburn did a great job as well. But again, relationship-wise, it was for the Aggies.
Oh, I love that behind the scenes look. We always just assume that they know exactly what they're going to do. They're just waiting for us to get the YouTube stream up. But it sounds like, man, this was a stressful one down the stretch. How do you anticipate Longstreet fitting into Cullen Klein's offense if he does stick with the Aggies?
I mean, I love the fit. I think the reason why we like Husan so much, he's a kid. He fits any offense, any scheme. Obviously there's some similarities to his Centennial offense. He's a lot of motions, a lot of shotgun, a lot of quick reads, get the ball out, multiple, whether it be go heavy with the tight ends, whether go 4 wide. So I think Husan, gifted arm. You've heard, Cooper multiple times say he might have the best arm talent in this year's quarterback class. He could absolutely rip the football. 11-inch hands. What does that mean? It means he absolutely can spin the heck out of the football. He can rip it through conditions, rain, wind. Me and Blair have seen him a few times this offseason. He's getting bigger, stronger. He's 6'1", 6'1.5" now. He's added another dimension last season, meaning he can run. Before he was a little more stationary as a pocket guy, but he's got some escapability. He can extend plays. Deep ball accuracy is the one thing I keep saying. Hey, I want to see him improve it a little bit because he's throwing a lot of fastballs, mixing maybe a changeup or two on the deeper throws. But gifted athlete, gifted quarterback, great leader. I mean, he's all about football. You talk to his coaches, and Blair did, man. All he cares about is ball. That's it. He's not a party guy. He's a good student, but he loves football. And right now, I think he fits that A&M scheme really well.
Really motivated, really competitive, and that's the type of player that the Aggies are adding to this recruiting class. GB, you've been doing this for a long time, and you've heard this phrase for decades. The quarterback becomes the face of the recruiting class. The recruit turns into a recruiter. What is on the list for Husan Longstreet moving forward, and who is he targeting?
Yeah, no, I asked him that yesterday. I said, hey, I need some names. Give me a couple guys who you're going to go after. And I think he's going to be a very active recruiter. Obviously, there's some in-state talent in Texas. There always is. Khalid Lockett, our number 2 wide receiver. He's a huge fan of him. Kelshawn Henry, another in-state guy. CJ Wiley out of Georgia. Fun fact, his dad, Chuck, is a good friend. Go Lakers. Shout out to CJ. So he wants receivers, man. He listed all 3 of those guys. I don't know if A&M is a leader for any of those 3, but I think they are a leader. I would say top 5, top 6 for all 3 of them. So receiver-wise, he mentioned a few offensive linemen as well, but we'll keep it with those wide receivers. And, for me, if I'm a receiver, man, I want to play with Husan Longstreet. He gets me the ball. He gets the ball early in space. Again, opportunity to make a lot of plays on offense. So we'll see. Husan, we know he's a great football player. We'll see what kind of recruiter he is by the way he recruits some of the wide receiver and offensive line talent for the Aggies.
I love it. While we're on the topic of quarterbacks, I did want to mention real quick, this just in today, 4-star quarterback Ryan Montgomery is set to commit with us Wednesday at 3:00 Eastern. He's the number 12 quarterback in the class right now. So you can watch him pick between Georgia, Florida, Michigan, South Carolina, and Penn State. That's all right here on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. Greg, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Exciting weekend for the quarterbacks and an exciting weekend for the Aggies. You can read up more about all things Texas A&M at gigem247.com. They are your headquarters for all things Texas A&M and the new staff coming in and everything that's happening around them. So be sure to read all about it on gigem247.com.